Welcome back. You are still watching the Saturday edition of Sports Live. In case you missed it, the Proteas came close, but they weren't able to defeat India in the ICC Men's T20 World Cup. They lost by 7 runs. And of course, in terms of football, lots has been spoken about. And the Kaizer Chiefs' soon-to-be appointed head coach, Nasruddin Nabi, comes highly recommended, having just come close to winning the Butolo Pro League title in Morocco with AS FAR Rabat. Now, Nabi has previously been with the Young Africans, Yanga in Tanzania, as the Tunisian-Belgian-born coach prepares to join Chiefs later next week, with some members of his technical team already hard at work with Amakosi. We are now joined in the studio by the well-traveled and experienced administrator, Senzo Mbata, the former Yanga CEO who recruited Nabi back in 2021. Senzo, I know we are going to chat about football, but just quickly, the Proteas, because we really wanted them to come out victors, champions on debut in the final. Just your assessment of that final.
It's heartbreaking, you know. I mean, I left home excited, knowing that I'll be on your show and we'll be celebrating the win. Yeah. Unfortunately, it was not to be. I mean, we were seven runs short. Yeah. You know, it is what it is. You know, I don't want to use that phrase, but we always close, but we never go through. Eh?
Yeah. But, no, absolutely, but the boys did us proud. I want us now to chat about Nabi, because you actually were instrumental in making sure that he was hired when you were a part of Yanga. So what made him stand out in terms of the comparison from other candidates? What was that special quality about Nabi?
To be quite honest, when we brought Nabi into the club, we had our own issues leading up to the appointment of the coach. We had appointed Slavko, who had been with us for about maybe 2 months. So we realized that this is not working out. And then the coach that followed after that was Coach Kaze. Coach Kaze came in as a stop-in measure while we were looking for the coach. So the race for Coach Nabi was between him and another coach I wouldn't want to mention. But he stood out because, you know, he had some experience in terms of having worked in the northern countries, having worked in the Champions League space. So he had an upper hand, and he was the only coach that would have been available in the next 2 months or so. So other than his qualities as a qualified coach, and I think honestly what attracted us to him was the fact that he would have been available within the package that we wanted to give, you know, and the rest is history, because he came in and he made things happen for the club.
I think a lot of Amakosi fans are going to listen to your response and think, okay, maybe we thought you were going to give us a little bit more, you know, not just in terms of availability, but just in terms of those qualities, because they're looking for him to replicate that when he comes now into the Amakosi setup. I think
really what I was trying to explain is that how he got into the club. As soon as Nabi hit Young Africans, I mean, he really brought professionalism into the club. He's somebody that is very strict. He's somebody like that wants to do things in a particular way, you know, and he's a technically astute somebody. He's got his way of doing things. You know, all I can say is that wherever he's going, I don't know, I hear there's a lot of talk that he's going to Chiefs. I don't know about that, but wherever he's going, if he's going to come to Chiefs, he must be given time. Let him do his job. Just believe in what he's trying to sell to you. Let's not be quick in expecting him to turn things around. He would need time. But he's a very, very, very strict coach that wants to do things in a certain way. A very professional individual. Okay. Very, very professional.
All right, so right now we're going to work on this assumption that he's coming to Chiefs, because you don't want to say it outright that he will be, of course. But we have had, you know, good reports coming in to know that he might be coming through later next week. Now, when we speak of the kind of environment that Nabi needs when he goes to any kind of football club, what does that environment look like? You know, what does the next team need to make sure that they give to him to make sure that he succeeds? And obviously the time that you've now spoken about now.
I think more than anything, I think he needs to be given an ear. Sit down with the coach, understand what he wants to do. Just give him a day without going to the boardroom and drawing your strategies. Sit down with Nabi over a coffee. Coach, tell us, what is your understanding? What do you want us to do to support your efforts. I think let's start there so that you start understanding the gentleman, because he's a gentleman, soft-spoken, he has his moments, but he's a gentleman. You know, I don't know when it comes to the issue of language, he understands English, but you know, they need also to bear in mind that the language is going to be an issue as well, because he's French speaking. You know, he's learned a little bit of Swahili when we were in Tanzania, but you know, it's for me as an advice, if he's going there, have a sit with the coach.
Okay, and I hear that because he's also traveling with a technical team of what, five members of that technical team. We even saw now from the Chiefs goalkeeping department that they've now released their goalkeeper coach, because we know that Nabi as well does travel with his goalkeeper coach. So in terms of that understanding of the domestic league, you know, of understanding players, how were you able to get it right?
I think Nabi also came with his support team. Yeah. He came in alone. Then 2 or 3 days down the line, he pointed us to people that he would like to work with. Of course, we had our own traditions in the club. You know, that we should have certain individuals that are working with him, not only to work with him, but to also learn from him. So he's somebody that really has certain qualities that he's looking at. That's why he would bring people that he wants to work with. So it's not a new thing that is coming to do here in South Africa, if he's coming to bring his own technical team and things like that. You know, he's somebody that also needs to understand and know that I've got my people behind me, I've got people around me, and then we can do this thing together. He's somebody that relies a lot in the support staff that he brings along with.
No, absolutely. I know that you've worked with Simba quite a lot and won many titles with that football club. And when Nabi came in, you know, with Yanga, he was able to kind of put an end to that dominance over the arch rivals. What do you think he was able to unlock, you know, in terms of the league and the dominance that they'd had? Because then when we bring it back at home, if he is coming to South Africa, that's the kind of unlocking that is going to be needed when you look at a Sundowns that has been so dominant in the league. What was he able to do there?
I think first and foremost, what was important was the support was provided, not with his work only, but with the material, the players. The kind of players that we signed at the time when Nabi joined us was players of highest caliber. We started bringing players that are players that he can be able to work with. Of course, he's been involved in some of the players that we brought in terms of identifying that there's a player X in this club, or there's a player X who's available I would like to bring to the club. So it's not only him bringing his technical team, he needs to be provided with the tools to do the work. He needs to make sure that I need my spine, I need my number 9, I need my 6, I need my goalkeeper, I need this, I need that. Of course, I mean, as club administrators, we don't have an endless budget where we can go and buy whatever is available. You know, we also need to plan, we need to try and get things within the budget and ensure that the club can move forward. But what I can say that is that he would really need support in terms of the personnel on the pitch.
Support that is needed because in the past couple of days, especially from the Amakosi setup, because we are still working on assumption, we know that they've released quite a few players from the likes of Keegan Dolly, Abusfiso Tlanti, you know, just recently now, Abonjabulo Ngobo, and the likes. But we know that on the ground, it has been Fernando Cruz who has been, you know, instrumental in those decision makings. How much of an impact do you think Nabi has been able to do? Because he's also focusing on the final that they're going to be playing just on Monday. Yeah.
I know that they were supposed to play on the 1st of July, but now there's a bereavement in Morocco. I mean, the Queen of Morocco has passed on, so that is affecting the final of the Potola Cup. So there's another delay if this is going to happen. So
which means now another delay in the announcement.
It's another delay if there was going to be an announcement date. You know, so all I can say is that it's not going to be. How do I put it? It's not going to be easy for you to be focusing on your job in terms of trying to win the league or the cup, and be able to also focus on the squad analysis and the needs and wants. You know, so it's not going to be easy. But like you are saying, like you are informing me that Cruz is at Chiefs, or probably he's already doing that job. You know, you cannot have an assistant coach that you cannot trust to make such decisions. So I'm sure that they are working together. They'll be talking on the phone. And also, you know, you must give credit and respect to Kaizer Chiefs. I mean, they are not sitting there not doing what they're supposed to do. They know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure that there's a lot of talking amongst themselves to ensure that they've got a better team and they can prepare better for the next season.
Of all the head coaches that you've appointed, where does Nabi rank? And I ask this because Kaizer Chiefs, it's a 9-year drought. They are looking for a coach that is going to come in, make a difference, get them that silverware. Of the coaches that you've appointed, where does he rank?
I'd rather answer you by saying that it's not going to happen instantly. It's going to require time. It's going to require a lot of support. People should not think that anyone will come at a particular club in South Africa and change their fortunes. It will take time. It will need people to understand, because everybody comes with a strategy. I get appointed in another organization. I cannot go there in over 12 months and change the fortunes. I need to bring the strategy. People need to believe in your strategy. People need to believe in the way you do things. You need to understand what it's doing so that you're able to say, now, okay, after 3 months, let's take stock. Are we on the right track? You know, are we getting there? Don't expect to, okay, they're not in top 8, so something else.
Yeah.
You know, would say, no, after top 8 is lost, no, it's not good enough. So all I'm pleading is that whoever has been given that responsibility cannot turn the fortunes of 9 years drought within a season. It's going to take time.
Oh, it's going to take time. I want us now to chat a little bit about you before we run out of time. What have you been getting up to lately? Is there a chance of you coming back to the country? Because we need a lot of your expert, you know, analysis and just really the incredible work that you do in administration. What are you up to now?
I'm up to football business. I'm busy with a lot of things, but outside the country, you know, you cannot choose yourself to play in a team. Somebody must choose you. You know, the coach must choose you. You know, since we play 11. So apparently, I'm not in a team currently in the country. So there's a lot of work that I'm doing. I think in the coming months or so, we'll make announcements. And I'm very excited. You know, but it's things that we look forward to, and we hope that they do happen. But for now, coming back to SA, I would have loved to, but there's nothing on the radar.
Nothing that's enticing enough for you. But what have you learned from your travels, you know, and especially football on the continent? Just as, you know, the PSL, South Africa, where are we ranking? Is the future looking bright for us?
The future looks bright, but, you know, people are catching up, you know. Other countries are innovating, they're coming up with new things because they look at what you've been doing in the country. They try to take it in their space, and they make it better all the time. So every time there's a new innovation, they try to make it better. So I wish that also as South Africans, we can learn a lot of things from these countries, especially the clubs, how they do things, how they fundraise, you know. It's something that you can learn, you know. Gone are the days whereby we are just a flagship, everybody wants to see what you're doing. There's a lot of things that we can learn from them. Personally, I think I've grown and I've learned a lot around the issues of governance and politics, which is a very, very difficult balance that you need to play when you're in the position that I find myself in. So, and also just the way of being able to appeal and innovate in what I do, and not just be a known football administrator, but be known as a football expert, you know. So it's really exciting for me, and that's why maybe you see me not that, you know, too worried that I'm not coming back. I would love to. My family is here. I would love to come back to South Africa, but the opportunities are plenty out there. So I look forward to that.
Yeah, and especially in Botswana, right?
No, the Botswana project is done. It was a project just to go to set up structures, make sure, because they had also moved towards the direction of having a professional side that is a standalone like we have in South Africa. So my role was to set up those structures and ensure that we can move over to that particular program. So I'm done with that project. You know, there's few projects that are coming my way. So it's exciting. You know, you never rest, but looking forward to new things. You know, next step, you're going up, and I look forward to that.
You said in 2 months' time. Hopefully it will be right here on Sports Live where you give us that announcement.
I will bring it here. I will bring it here.
I love to hear it. Thank you so much to Senzo Mbatha, of course, talking about the imminent announcement because he wants to use the word if Nasruddin Nabi is, of course, brought on to the Amakhosi setup. And, of course, right here hearing that final that was supposed to be played on Monday could now be possibly moved. And, of course, we know that with the Kaizer Chiefs, they were looking to make announcements in the coming week of their new technical team, some of their signings, as we've heard some of the few players that have departed the squad. But of course, we will keep you updated right here on SABC News in terms of all the developments that come through.